it helps me be more intentional with everything that I do. And I think that's really important.
What's going on, everybody? It's Alex Olapade from the Pavlok team here with Tina Wynn. How you doing, Tina?
Good, good. Hi, Alex. How are you?
I'm doing great. Why don't we start with you just telling us a little about yourself?
Okay, so my name is Tina, and I've had the Pavlok for 2 years. I've been working on it with my sleep habits and my eating habits.
Cool. So, I guess the first question to ask is, what were you experiencing habit-wise in terms of that sleep and eating stuff?
Last winter, I was having a really hard time waking up because it was just so dark outside, and it was just like I could not get out of bed.
Yeah.
Even if I got like the right amount of sleep, I would just sleep in all day, and it was just absolutely terrible. I couldn't. I tried different types of alarm clocks, and nothing was waking me up. I'd even just snooze the alarm clock, and still just kept sleeping. So, yeah, so I actually did a quick Google search for an alarm clock, and then that's where I found the Pavlok.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that's actually similar to the way that I found it. I was trying to figure out my sleep. I was trying to become more productive, and they did some good marketing on that shot clock, didn't they?
Yeah, I actually had the Pavlok since before then.
Oh, wow.
So,
So you're one of the
yeah.
originals.
Yeah, you could say that, yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I've been using it for a couple of years as well. But so you're saying that you're having trouble with these two habits. So how was it affecting your life?
I was sleeping in and not doing anything. I think that
Oh, so I
is
should
a
be more
huge
specific.
effect on my life.
Sorry, what I mean to say is like in terms of maybe personal relationships and in terms of like work. Were you like missing meetings? Were you getting to work late? Like, could you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, so I'm fortunate to be working for myself. So
Okay.
I was able to schedule around that, but there was definitely a feeling of not really getting stuff done, and
Yeah.
things weren't moving along as I would like them to. Like I was trying to wake up and go to the gym before work, trying to get some meditation in, and I had a whole bunch of morning routine goals,
Yeah.
and none of it was getting done.
There's something to be said because I work for myself as well. Like when you don't have somebody who's standing in front of you saying like, "Oh, you were late for work," like there's less of a response from the world almost. Like you can sort of go farther in the wrong direction without realizing that maybe it's an issue that you should solve, right? I mean,
Yeah.
to what degree, like, do you agree with that? Because I know that entrepreneurs and like 9 to 5ers definitely have different experiences.
I agree 100%. I think that, especially with entrepreneurs, you kind of get into a bubble where you don't really know what's going on in the outside world, or you don't like. I've never really worked a 9 to 5, so that whole world is really really foreign to me. So I agree 100% that entrepreneurs need some sort of what's it called, accountability,
Mhm.
even to like themselves to get their stuff done, or else you can push it off for because you have no one, like you said, no boss waiting there watching for you. You have It's all comes from within.
Right, right. So when you started using Pavlok, I mean, how in particular were you using it? Like, what features were you using to solve the sleep and the eating stuff?
So I set multiple zap alarms
Mhm.
because I like during the first 2 days it would zap me, and I was just like, ah, that's not that bad. So I did the snooze zap. So whenever I hit the snooze, it would zap me,
Yeah,
and eventually that started working for me. And I would, I think my body would even know when I have the Pavlok on my wrist.
yeah,
So it would just wake up before the alarm even, which I think is
yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
Yeah, so cool. And for my eating habits, I tend to eat while doing other things. So I was working on zapping myself if I like think about my phone or something else, just kind of bring myself back to eating.
Got it. So next question. Was there like a particular point where you decided like enough is enough? And if so, like what was that moment, where you thought I need to deal with these habits?
For my sleeping, it would just be continual sleeping all day, and I was like, this, just because you have to, as an entrepreneur, you have to be the person to push yourself, and I just realized like this isn't working. I'm not getting anything done, and I'm sleeping in all day. I feel lazy, and, because like when you wake up early in the morning, you just feel so much more accomplished to get everything done by
Yeah.
lunchtime.
Yeah.
It's just, I needed that. I knew what that felt like, and I needed to get there again. So I was like, I need to
Yeah.
find some way to wake up.
So it sounds like there's almost this like cascading elements where you make that first positive decision, all the rest of the day almost becomes easier. I mean, is that fair to say?
Yeah, for sure. So when you wake up early and on time and you get a little bit of your morning routine done, you feel like you've accomplished something. So that sets the day off on a good start.
So then, I mean, you've already used this. It sounds to great effect with the sleep and with eating habits. Are there any other habits that you're also thinking about using Pavlok for?
So what I do is I also set multiple vibration alarms throughout the day, and I've probably got, I think, 4 just random times throughout the day, and there's no zap, so all it does is just vibrates on my wrist, and that will bring me back to to center, because I'm
Gotcha.
trying to increase my presence throughout the day and
Okay.
not just wander off. So anytime it vibrates on my arm, I'm like, okay, just take a few deep breaths and be present.
I like that. I think we kind of become zombies throughout the day when we don't check in with ourselves. Does that, I mean, how does that increase like maybe your happiness or your productivity? Like, how does that affect you when you bring yourself back to center?
I think for myself, I forget to breathe a lot of the time. It just seems like something that I don't really do. So just bringing that back and like
Yeah.
realizing that I need to take a deep breath. It's actually really calming, and it just helps me uh, keep my mood stable. So I'm less. I also get very anxious and like, I don't know, like
I think
all
I know
over,
what you
spread
mean.
all over the place.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just by bringing that awareness to myself and making myself notice my state, even if I am kind of running about and going crazy, if I just have that reminder, that's usually enough to kind of help me come back and calm down.
That's cool because I think, I mean, it sounds to me like you found some really interesting additional ways to use Pavlok that I know I've never thought of it. I know Manish has never sort of mentioned, oh, well, you could use it this way. And it's just kind of interesting for me interviewing multiple people to see how each of our customers finds a really unique way to use the product that maybe we wouldn't even have thought of. But it brings up another question for me, which is, I mean, do you feel like you've learned like new things about yourself or new things about the way that people work in terms of their habits, having used Pavlok?
Um, yeah, I realize that a lot of people are just kind of running on automatic and not even just thinking about what they're doing day to day, and
Yeah.
that's really scary to me. So it helps me be more intentional with everything that I do, and I think that's
Yeah.
really important.
It's almost like the red pill, like once you know what is possible and once you know what it's like to be awake, it's like really hard going back. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Stay woke.
Stay woke. Stay woke. So, this has been great. I have one more question for you, which is just, I mean, would you recommend this to another person? Like, would you recommend Pavlok?
Yeah, for sure. Like even just with anyone struggling with an alarm clock, it's been amazing. It's the best alarm clock ever. Like there's no way that you can miss it, right? So you have to
Yeah.
wake up.
Very cool. So says Tina. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate your time. I always love hearing about people's stories and just the unique ways they use the product and the ways it's helped them. Let's keep spreading the love. I know that you talk to a lot of other people who also use Pavlok, and you're absolutely a super user. So thank you so much, and hopefully I get to talk to you soon.
Yes, talk again soon.
All right, talk soon. Bye-bye.